What's up, everybody? It's your host, Deeper Depths of the Deeper Level Podcast. Listen, do me a favor before we go any further into this podcast. If you're tuning in on Twitch, make sure that you hit that follow button so that you can stay locked in to more podcasts like this, because I promise you, this one here today is going to be lit. If you're over on the red side with YouTube, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. We really would appreciate it. We are closing in on 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, so I really want to appreciate the entire Deeper Level community, as well as everybody who is tuning in today. Now, of course, as you know, we are going to be discussing Gotham Knights on this podcast. And let me tell you, the lineup of individuals that I have that's on this podcast with me today that are going to be discussing the topics that we're getting ready to get into, because I know all of you want to discuss and voice your opinion on this topic. Twitter has been going crazy. But before we get into that, we're just going to kind of cover the eventful week that Gotham Knights has been having. Again, the pluses, the positives. We're going to even get into the things that's got people going crazy and out of their minds and losing their minds. We're going to get into all of that. But listen, my guests that are coming on today, I have some phenomenal guests that are getting ready to talk to us and give us their perspective. Now, these are mentors of mine. These are people that I've been following for quite some time, like at least over a year, and I've seen their growth, which has been phenomenal and explosive. They have been in the Avengers community for quite some time, everything from comics to podcasts, the whole 9 yards, you name it. Their growth has been tremendous and explosive on YouTube and Twitch, and they have been great mentors to me, and so I consider it a huge privilege and an honor to have them on today and know that we are getting an unbiased opinion. So the things that they're going to talk about, it's not like they're a part of some content creator program or something like that with the game, but they're going to give us an honest opinion and a balanced opinion because they've been in the game for quite some time. So I want you all to help me welcome these individuals as we get ready to bring them now into the studio, as we welcome the all-father of the Do-Rag Gang himself, Mr. Sadot, the gamer. Welcome to the stream, sir. How are you today?
Chilling. What do you do?
Yes, sir. We've also got Mr. DoomKillaHD. We are now rocking with the best people. Listen, y'all know him from Doom Squad Gaming. Just an all-around stand-up guy. What's up, Doomkilla? Welcome to the stream.
What's shaking, people? How you doing, bro? Thank you for having me on, man. For real.
Yes, sir. And last but not least, Mr. Casual Avenger himself. He is on the stream, and let me tell you, he is doing great things, even in the Avengers community. So we are so glad to have you on today, sir. How you feeling, man?
And bro, after that intro, I'm feeling hyped.
Yes, sir. Let's get it. Well, like I said, you guys are someone that I've looked up to for quite some time on the content creation side of things. I've been able to take tips and even help build my brand with just some of the things that you all have shared with me, even behind the scenes. So just kind of wanted to publicly thank you, just to get that out the way, just for allowing me into that personal space and being able to mentor me in different areas. Each of you have incredible strengths that I've been able to add to my own brand as a content creator. And at 40 years old, y'all, they made me feel like I could do this thing. And guess what? We're doing it. So listen, welcome to everybody who's in the community, who's in the chat. Make sure you get the word out. We're going to be talking about some really good stuff. Let's say what's up to some people. I see I'm the Life of Dreads, another content creator for Gotham Knights. What's up? Cute little Chaos Kitty. How you feeling today? All right, we got Lion 917 is back again. Hypotenuse Hero is here with us. What's up, man? I see you. G Davis in the building. I know that's right, man. 40 ain't old. Let me get that comment up on the screen. Yeah, you show right. In fact, I'm apologizing to everybody that I called old when they was 40. Now that I'm 40 myself. But listen, let's talk about it. This has been an eventful week, as we've been stating earlier, for Gotham Knights community. I don't think that this podcast could have happened on a better week than the week we are having now, especially to have these gentlemen that are getting ready to speak to us. And we're going to get some solid answers, y'all. I'm telling you. So just check out these perspectives. The first thing that I want to talk about is that a bomb got dropped on us from Gotham Knights. They revealed this. Nobody knew about it, or at least I know that I did not know about it. But heroic assault was announced this week, and that's something that everybody's been talking about for quite some time. What would the end game of Gotham Knights look like after you had finished the story? Would there be other content? Will we ever get a chance to have a 4-player co-op? And lo and behold, they dropped the bomb on us, y'all, and announced that on November the 29th, Heroic Assault is coming to the game, which is a 4-player mode. So let's talk about that a little bit before we move further. Mr. Sadot, what do you think about that Heroic Assault? What are your thoughts on that, sir?
Well, as soon as they announced it, I had to literally drop my Arkham Knight stream because I was like, there's no way this is happening. I've been telling anyone who will listen in the Avengers community that Avengers needed this for like over 2 years. And the one thing I was waiting for Gotham Knights was, I know the 4-player thing definitely bothered a lot of people. Didn't bother me in terms of the actual campaign itself, because when it comes to like story-driven games, I'm going to play it solo probably, but I like the co-op option. It's cool. But in terms of actual end game, I was hoping there would be something for players, and that exactly answered that. It sounds like a sort of a horde tower type of mode, some stuff I played before, and Division has stuff like this. Godfall has stuff like this. So this is definitely the sort of content that I was hoping to see in the end game of Gotham Knights. Now, obviously, we still need to actually see what it's like. I mean, there are definitely ways this could be amazing, and there are ways this could be, just mid. But we got to find out what the enemies are. Are they adding new bosses? What the rewards are going to be like? And of course, is it stable? Is it playable? But this definitely has a lot of potential.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And if I'm not mistaken, when I read the notes regarding it, it drops on November the 29th. So again, we've already got not only a commitment to in-game content, but a date for in-game content before the main game itself has even come out. So I really want to say kudos to WB Games Montreal for thinking ahead and being able to commit to something and give us an actual date on when that is going to happen. And again, this is 4-player, untethered, if I'm not mistaken, 30 floors that we're going to be able to fight through. Doom Killer, what you feeling, man? Because I see that grin over there on your face, bro. You got to tell me what's on your mind.
Let me grab my popcorn real quick. Because y'all normally we call Sadot the prophet, you know what I mean? But this time it was all me, baby. I called this. I was like, there's no way this game is this beautiful, this city is this big, and they're not going to have you play as 4 players at the same time. There's no way. I called it. I was like, they're going to drop a dungeon. They're going to drop some kind of hive or something like that at the end game for us to go in, and we can go in as 4 players. That's why they have the whole, this is your own universe and other people can come in. That's why that whole thing even exists. So they can set it up for the end game, and they set up for the end game, like I said. So I'm gonna go ahead with Doom Prophet for the day. Y'all can call me that in the comments if you feel like it, because I was right, baby. I was right. I'm hyped for it, to be honest with you, though. Like, this is something that I wanted to happen for the game. This is something that I called, you know what I mean? So for it to actually come to fruition, heck, man, come on, bro. Come casual.
Yes, sir. Hey, type Doom Prophet in the chat, y'all. Type Doom Prophet in the chat. I've actually been on streams, watching his streams rather, when I've heard him speak about this. So that is absolutely correct. Casual Avenger, man, I see you laid back over there, bro. I see you chilling, like you ain't got nothing going on, but you're doing up on the scene, man. You got YouTube shaking over there, bro. I'm telling you, man, y'all have had some explosive growth, and I'm celebrating it tonight, man. So how you feeling? How you feeling about Heroic Assault on Gotham Knights?
I definitely got excited when I saw them drop that news yesterday, and their marketing and branding team, up until about like 7 o'clock last night has been killing it. And I think the people who were really on the fence about like whether they wanted to pick it up or not, that was the push they needed to go ahead and put in that pre-order, or just definitively, make the decision that they're going to pick up the game and stuff. And it's like 30 floors that depending on how long it takes to clear, each floor, of course, but it's like that sounds like a sizable amount of time, to be in the game with friends, clearing out content with, these well-designed heroes. So it's like this, I'm very excited that they actually did something like this, and hopefully they can, keep that in a positive light despite, the negative light they're currently sitting in.
Absolutely. I do want to say that you said a key word with marketing, and personally, the WB Games Montreal team, in my opinion, has done a phenomenal job, with marketing of the game, releasing little tidbits, especially as we get closer to the release of the game, and they kept a tight lid on things. I mean, generally,
for the most part,
right. For the most part,
I mean, it was definitely a big oopsie.
yeah, definitely a big oopsie, and we're gonna talk about that because I know we got people in the chat that's probably like, oh, hey, they probably ain't gonna touch this, but we want to talk about it, so we're definitely gonna get to that in just a moment. But they kept a tight lid on things. We didn't really see leaks, and every week they were coming out with something. And even one of my tweets, I think that I had tweeted in response to their official account when they had dropped, I think it was the Harley trailer, the Harley Quinn trailer. And I basically just told them, hey, keep it coming, doing a great job. Well, the Gotham Knights official account responded and said there will be more. Now, of course, when they said that, I didn't know what they was talking about, but we've definitely been seeing more over the course of the last few days. So again, I think that we were able to have enough information at the time to make an informed decision on to whether or not we wanted to play the game. But as it was stated earlier, up until about 7 o'clock last night, when things got heated regarding Gotham Knights. And again, I don't know, y'all, every game that I've chosen to play or that I take an interest in has been involved over the last few years rather, in probably the most controversy that a game could be involved in. At first, it was Cyberpunk 2077. I mean, I felt like I was living a bug's life, y'all. Everything I played either had bugs, it had issues. I mean, we went through COVID, we went through a pandemic, whatever the case may be. Cyberpunk 2077. But of course, they fixed that now. Marvel's Avengers, to say the least. I mean, you almost can't even play a game now or be excited about a game without that being the bar of comparison. I mean, it could be, a card game and somebody gonna say, oh, this is the next Marvel's Avengers. So let's talk about it, fellas. And you all know what we're talking about. We're talking about the 30 FPS gate. It has been said that Gotham Knights now, it's been confirmed to have been locked in on consoles at 30 frames per second, while the PC version is going to have 60 frames per second. So there's not actually a performance mode. Now, the reason I'm going to go first. The reason why I personally am not affected by this, because there is a such thing called updates. All right. This game has been in development for probably 7 or 8 years. And yes, that is probably information that should have been announced a lot sooner than now. However, to me, it's still not a deal breaker. I'm not canceling my reservation, and I'm still going to be actively playing the game. But let's get some honest opinions about this to help you have a better perspective about what's going on, because I know there are certain people in the community, Caboose, J Shock Blast, they're fighting for their lives right now with the people that's just tagging them in different stuff. But Sadot the Gamer, man, what are you thinking, man? What's going through your mind right now as it relates to Gotham Knights being locked in at 30 frames per second?
So I had as soon as I saw the story break, I had the foresight to make a community poll on my YouTube to gauge what the temperature really is, how people were reacting, because my community polls are pretty popping. I get a ton of people. I have gamers I got Marvel gamers, I got DC gamers, I got all sorts of people from all different perspectives that come to my channel. There are literally thousands of people participating in my polls. So I was like, okay, I feel like this would be a good barometer of how people are really feeling about this. And as of right now, 72% literally don't care, and 13% are still going to buy it, even if I like only 17%. Last I checked, actually said that it's going to affect their decision, and to the point where they're not going to buy the game at all. But if you went by Twitter, you would think that the sky is falling. This was the next cyberpunk. Literally, I've had people repeatedly tell me this is cyberpunk all over again. That they didn't even go Marvel's Avengers. They went straight to cyberpunk to 2077. And first, I think I have to remind these people: 1, touch grass. 2, pull your tongue away from the window. Those are not for licking. They're for opening and seeing through. This is not cyberpunk. in case I need to remind you guys, cyberpunk was so bad, their own government had to investigate the company for potential fraud. To put this in perspective.
Wow.
This was
ain't lying.
This is not cyberpunk. This is 60 FPS versus 30 FPS is not literally fabricating gameplay footage with features that aren't in the actual game and blocking media, and apparently even Sony and Microsoft from actually getting their hands on console versions of the game before it came out. This is not that. Now if the actual game comes out and it's buggy, it's T-posing and all that stuff, that's a separate thing entirely. But we're not talking about the game. We're not talking about the story. We're talking about FPS. We're talking about practice. Right. Not the game. we're talking about FPS. Not the game. Not the gameplay. Not the story. Not the combat. We're talking about FPS. I swear to God, 90% of the people bitching about FPS, if I gave them two videos, one at 120, one at 30, they wouldn't be able to tell the fucking difference. I swear to God. I swear to God they would. Case in point, there's a viral photo going around of a picture, a top photo of a screenshot from Batman Arkham Knight, and a bottom photo of a screenshot of Red Hood and Gotham Knights moving. And the top photo is like, oh, this is PS4 30 FPS, and the bottom is PS5 30 FPS in Gotham. What's going on? I'm like, bro, first of all, the top photo is not PS4, it's literally a PC mod, so you're lying right off the bat. And secondly, you can't gauge FPS with a static image. FPS literally refers to frames, not a
frames per second.
It's frames per second. You can't see frames per second in a still photo, but people are just determined to be mad regardless. I swear, you got some people that are just clout chasers, obviously, and you got other people who just feel they need to feel something. Obviously, they just have to be mad. They just want to be mad. They want to argue. This is what they do. They have nothing else to do. They want to argue. We got my poor guy Jay Shockblast literally got people creating burner accounts just to harass him because he actually played the game and said it performed fine, and they don't believe it apparently because they know better, even though they've never played it. So I'm just like, all y'all need to just chill. Y'all doing too much. Like I agree that the way they rolled this information out was not good, but at the end of the day, it's not a big deal to me. Honestly, I don't care.
Now, I feel you on that, Sadot, and I do want to say this too. First of all, before it comes up, Sadot had mentioned that he had taken a poll, and if you don't know who this man is, check into his socials, because if you don't think that his polls are valid or hold any weight, This man has over 20K subscribers, and I mean a active following. Like at any time when he pulls up a stream, I mean, it's nothing for 500 or 600 people to chime in live. So when he runs a poll, I mean, that's really a good rule of thumb and a good way to judge those numbers to where he comes up with that sign. So I just wanted to say that in case you're like, well, who is he to take a poll? Trust me, he's he's bigger than all of us combined. I can say that with no hate in my heart. So yes, his polls are pretty valid. DoomKillaHD, man, we ain't just gonna let you sit here and eat this popcorn, bro.
I had to. You see, that's my twin up. If y'all don't know, that's my twin up there. You know what I'm saying? So when he talking, I'm going because that's what we do. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But bro, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this first. Y'all really think 30 FPS is gonna stop me from playing Gotham Knights? Watch this. No, cuz it's not gonna happen, bro. I still play Avengers in 30 FPS sometimes, just because I like to see the rubble go everywhere when I play with Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Or when I'm playing with Kate Bishop and I want to hit him with that suspension arrow or whatever it's called and watch everybody blow up. It looks cool in the 30 FPS because there's more explosion, there's more rubble, there's more stuff on the ground. When you're playing in the 60 FPS, the performance mode or whatnot, it looks cleaner, it's smoother. I'm not tripping off of that, bro. When I'm streaming, I might hit standard, I might hit performance mode. It don't matter to me. Long as the gameplay, long as the story is good, long as I'm not walking around T-posing like Clint was for the first 3 months we had him, and I'm good. You dig? I'm not tripping off of none of that, bro. 30 FPS don't mean nothing to me. I'm just keeping 100. People on Twitter, please stop licking the window. Go touch some grass. Go eat some popcorn. Something, bro. Because y'all, for real, like, I didn't watch my dude Jay Shockblast out there looking like Rocky Balboa right now. He for real hitting him with the he looking like Creed in 2020. You feel me? I'm like, bro, like, don't even sweat these people, bro. They want the reaction, they want the interaction. They see you got 300,000 subs, they see you got 40K Twitter followers or whatnot, bro. They want that interaction. They want to be next to Mr. Jay Shockblast, whether it's you cussing them out or whether it's you big upping them, and it don't matter to them. Long as they got I was tweeted at by Jay Shockblast and they can quote tweet it, and dude, let them people be, bro. Let them people suck their thumb. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a waste of your time, and you gonna get high blood pressure, bro. You're gonna be eating chicken and then just croak because of these people on Twitter. You don't need none of that, fam. You don't need none of that in your life. 30 FPS, bro. Y'all, I'm gonna say this. Look, picture this. Y'all been watching the gameplays. Y'all been watching the trailers. Y'all ain't had no issues with none of them trailers. None. Not one. Now, oh my God, they announced that it's 30 FPS. My heart is up. Really? That's what y'all want to argue about right now? Well, it's 2022. That's what you want to argue about right now. Not how good the game is going to be. Not how great the gameplay is going to be. Not how all of these hidden secrets of hidden villains and four co-op player they're dropping on. Y'all don't want to talk about none of that good stuff, huh? Y'all want to be mad at 30 FPS. I'm done.
Someone literally just tagged me on Twitter in a photo of a still screenshot from God of War Ragnarok and claiming that I said everyone can't tell the difference between 60 and 120, literally proving my point by tagging me in a static image, and not a video.
Okay. Frames per second. I'm sorry. Let me just say this real quick, and I'm gonna shut up, bro. Frames per second. How can you if it's frozen, bro? How can it be? I'm done.
It can't be a frame if it's frozen, y'all. Okay, and FPS display
not per second at least. It could be a frame all day, but not per.
Right, per second.
Look. This is frame per second. No, you stupid. This is frames per second, not.
Right, that's frame.
That's frame. This is. Lord, okay, I'm sorry, bro. These people,
yes, sir.
Nerves,
yes, sir. Casual Avenger, man. What's on your mind when you heard the news that consoles were locked into 30 FPS, man? What was it? And let me just give a disclaimer, y'all, because we may have some people watching that when we say that FPS does not stand for first person shooter. Okay, just this disclaimer there. It's frames per second. But Casual, what was going through your mind, man? What are your thoughts on this whole 30 FPS gate?
Well, one, we was in the middle of a podcast, when that news kind of started hitting, and it's like my initial reaction was the game still looks fine, but you touched on something, at the start of this segment when you said it took, six or more years, of development for this game to even get where it is. The PS5 isn't even that old yet. So it's like they were building this game before you even had a PS5, before it was announced. All of this stuff, they were working on this game. So to be killing them about something that's always standard for current gen, when this game was being built for last gen before current gen even hit the market, is disingenuous. And again, it's like, if that's a deal breaker for you, that's fair. Hey, I feel like the game should at least offer this. It can still do that. They can do a patch update and offer a performance mode at a later time. It wasn't originally designed that way. That optimization can be included at a later time. Should they have communicated that at an earlier time? Yes, they 100% should have. They tried it. They almost made it. You were almost there, bro. You're a week away from the finish line. You almost made it across the finish line without this even being a thing. And you took that gamble, and it didn't work out that way. It caught you the week before, and now you have to take that hit on the chin. But is it the end of the world? No. But in reality, people were looking for anything to be controversial about this game to begin with. You got the Arkham Knight and the Arkham series comparisons. You're comparing it to Avengers. Whatever you can do now they're dragging Cyberpunk into it. Whatever they can do, they're going to do that, because that's just the nature of gaming at this time. It's like, whatever we can do to be negative, dissatisfied, disingenuous, that's going to be our stance on this. So it's like, it's not the end of the world. And as Sadot just outlined, we are literally using still images as representation of frames per second. And people are taking that seriously in 2022. So it's like, that tells you where we are in gaming. 20 years ago, if we were given a 2-player co-op, 4-player multiplayer mode in any Gotham game, Batman game, anything, we would just be happy with that. We would wait until you get to talk to developers now. And I don't think people understand that that wasn't a thing. Like, if you weren't a part of like IGN or a major gaming, journalism network, you're not getting those opportunities. I can reach out to developers right now. They'll respond. They'll chat with me on the Discord and stuff like that. This wasn't a thing. So it's like, when they announced games 20 years ago, you just excited, and whatever the game is, we'll check that out when it gets there. You can feel how you feel about it. But now the mere mention of a game is met with criticism. Oh, it's going to be this. It's just going to be that. And you haven't seen a second of it. You haven't played a second of it. People are telling people who actually have hands-on experience with the game what the game is and what it's going to be. That's ridiculous in and of itself. It's like, how do you even take that stance? And it's like, okay, well, I feel like your opinion is bought off because you're in a position of privilege. You got early access. That's fair. Again, just wait until you try it out for yourself, or just say, hey, I'm not going to play the game. There's no need to go on a full-blown
That takes common sense, bro. That takes common sense.
Yes,
we're talking about Twitter people, though.
That's what I'm saying. It's nonsense, bro. Like, reasonable people are going to be reasonable regardless. The team still has done an amazing job with this. If you talk to people behind the scenes about the game, they got amazing stories to share. The team is passionate about the game, and this is something that is just one of those things with modern gaming. So it's like, I guarantee you this won't be the last game to go through something like this. And you won't see games that were dedicated solely to current gen show up until next year. That's why those games were delayed. That's why Suicide Squad isn't coming out until next year, because they're watching. They're taking notes about stuff like this, and they're going to be like checking off those boxes, making sure this isn't going to be a problem for their marketing team come this time next year. Spider-Man 2 is going to showcase what current gen can do graphics-wise, performance-wise, because it's dedicated for that. Everything else in between, give those people a break, because they were trying to balance between current gen and old gen, and that is not easy, especially depending on the engine you're working with, as you see with Avengers. And credit to them for still being committed to trying, but it's not easy. That's not going to be something that's easy. They took a step forward and said, hey, well, we're going to hold off on the last gen release and push forward with the current gen. And now they're being crucified for that because it's only 30 frames per second. And it's like, that's just the nature of gaming at this point. Any opportunity or any lane they can find to be negative, that they're going to go all in. There's going to be 100 cars, fill up that lane immediately, because that's what it's about.
I totally get you. Totally got you, man. I love that point of view from each and every one of you. I think you said something real critical too, Casual, is that all of us who are on this stream, we've been gaming for a long time, and we came up in a generation of gaming where there was no social media, a Facebook or a Twitter. None of that stuff existed in our day. If a game came out, that's what you got. You bought it. You didn't. There was no patches. There was no updates. You had to wait for the second version of the game. Whatever that game may have been, there was a totally separate game that was made. Couldn't talk to devs, couldn't reach out to any of the voice actors or whatever the case may be. You just went with it. And like you said, if you wanted to buy it, you bought it. If you didn't, you don't. So I think that we have to remember, especially, this is a disclaimer to the individuals who are on Twitter, on social media, whatever the case, attacking creators, attacking devs. We got to be conscious of the fact that them talking to us, having developer streams or whatever the case may be, is a privilege. Like, they don't owe us anything. They don't owe us an explanation. They don't have to explain themselves. They could just do what they do and keep it moving. So targeting them, attacking them, I mean, it's just getting ridiculous at this point. Now, again, I agree, that it probably could have been said sooner than this for sure, but it's not a deal breaker for me. And the reason why I say that is because when this game first came out, when people got wind, and I may be wrong about this, but correct me if I'm wrong, but when people got wind that Rocksteady was not developing the game, that they were not the studio, and that it was not a part of Arkhamverse, well, then everybody went crazy and said, well, they should have made the game. It shouldn't be developed by WB Games Montreal, and this should have been developed by Rocksteady or whatever the case may be, because Arkham Knight is the bar. Okay, Arkham Knight was the bar. Everybody was saying that. They were comparing it to Arkham Knight. But if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Arkham Knight locked in at 30 FPS? I mean, I could be wrong, but when Arkham Knight came out, it was not a 60 FPS game. So if that's the bar, if that's what we're going to compare it to, what's the problem now? That's all I'm saying. Like y'all said, people are looking for something to complain about. Now, I do want to mention this because I see a question in the chat from Tano Games, and I want to highlight this because this is actually a legitimate question to ask. He says, I agree wholeheartedly, but do we think that the $70 price tag is justified with the locked in 30 frames per second? If they're going to charge more, I personally think we should get more, So do we still agree with $70, or should this have been priced less?
You don't have to buy the game. You don't have to buy it. That's your choice to buy it. Me personally, I got the deluxe edition, so that's more than $70 for me. But that's because I wanted the game. I wanted the features that it came with. It came with the Jim Lee suits. That's the one suits that I wanted the most. So I'm getting a deluxe edition. You know what I mean? Like, people talking about the price of the game. You don't have to buy the game. You don't have to. You know what I mean? That's your choice. If you feel 70 is too much for a game, don't buy it. If you feel 70 is cool or 90 is cool, buy it. That's your money. I'm not understanding why we need validation from other people for things that we like or we want or don't like. You know what I mean? You don't need nobody else's validation for something that you like or want. It's that simple. Like, if you want to play Gotham Knights, it costs $70. Bottom line, boom. If you want it, go buy it. If you don't, Wait till it go on sale or hit that Game Pass or whatnot. You know what I mean? That's cool too. But like debating over a price right now, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think I understand, the point they're trying to make and how they're looking at it, but look at it from this standpoint as well. You paying $70 for a game that before you even get your hands on it has already announced that you're getting in-game content for free at no additional charge for you, and that's just the first of many planned DLC updates that are coming in the future. That we don't know the price market on all those things, but it's like you're getting a $70 AAA game day one. You're getting more content, not even a full month later, and then you have more content coming down the pipeline beyond that. So it's like I feel like it's priced at that point for a reason, beyond it being the market standard for gaming at this point.
Can I tag in on that real quick? Plus, you don't know everything that's in the game. I know for a fact that a couple of things that I've mentioned that I wanted in the game is in the game, but they can't announce it right now. It's you know what I mean? This is information that I know personally, you know what I mean? So like the stuff that they showed you to me is already worth the $70. Plus the stuff you don't even know that's in there yet. You know what I mean? But I'm sorry, because I just wanted to pick it.
No, you good, bro.
Quick, bro. Go ahead, man.
You all good. I was just saying, like, it's if you are on the fence about this game, and this is something that swayed you in the other direction and stuff like that. Like you said, you can wait for a sale. You got Black Friday coming up. You got Christmas coming up. You can hope for a sale, or you can it's other ways of getting the game. You can catch the deluxe edition later down the line or something like that. You don't have to buy it up front. But the game being locked at 30 frames per second is a reason to not justify being $70. I just don't see that, because again, you still have PS4 games that come out that you pay $60 and $70 for that are 30 frames per second, and that's just fine. It's like it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. And it's like objectively, your eyes aren't going to be able to tell the difference. 60 frames does look better in some instances. When you're looking at movies, 60 frames per second look completely different than a 30 frame per second movie, just because the frames are moving a lot faster. It's closer to normal movement. So what you see, in day-to-day life when someone's moving their hand in front of their face, that looks a lot different than in a movie when someone's doing that. And there's reasons for that technically, but I think the price point is fine for the game. I think what you'll get in the campaign and the DLC content alone will justify that price point.
So, Dr. Gamer, $70. What you feel, man?
I think that's such a weird argument for people that I feel like are trying to justify their personal opinion, and by trying to make it seem legitimate by like trying to make a marketplace-based argument. But if you actually analyze it from a marketplace perspective, that literally doesn't make any sense. Are you saying that just the difference between 30 and 60 FPS is specifically worth $10? Is that the argument? Are we like who legitimately has been sold a game based purely on FPS? When new games are coming out, when new games are announced, what is the first thing developers announce? What did they say? Oh, this is the game. If it's a IP, it's like it's from this IP. It's about this genre. Oh, I like that genre. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that IP. Oh, here's a trailer. They don't say, hey guys, we have a game coming out. It's 60 FPS. What's it about? Doesn't matter. 60 FPS.
60.
Is there in-game content? It's
60 FPS.
I mean, is it 1 player, 4 player? It's got that 60 FPS player. like people are really putting a price on what is definitely like at best it's like a cherry on top. Like we're considering it like how many times have we memed people and developers for at game awards and presentations for spending 10 minutes creaming their pants about ray tracing? Like no one gives a shit about ray tracing. No one gives a shit about FPS. what's the game? What's the actual game? And realistically, we were due for a price hike anyway, because people don't appreciate how expensive it is to develop games, especially as technology grows and improves. Like Sony, Microsoft, they're literally selling their consoles at a loss. If you were charged the actual, if they put the actual price value of a PS5 or a Series X on the market based on how much it costs to put one together, you would, the only people who will be able to afford it are tech billionaires. Like people, right. people don't appreciate the market. Like they're selling these products at a loss and are looking to make up for it in volume. Like, you know, PlayStation will make money off of microtransactions and you buying enough of the games. You know, these developers, they'll sell DLCs, they'll do their collector's editions, they'll do their pre-order bonuses, all that to help make up for the insane development costs. You know, these games take millions and millions of dollars worth of investment to put in, and people are bitching about having to spend $70 because of a difference in 30 FPS, which many of them could not tell you the difference if you put it literally in front of them on the screen. So if personally you are someone who's super in FPS, that's fine, but let's not act like it's realistically the determining factor in you making a purchase. And if you have a problem with $70, I mean, it's cheaper if you buy it on PC, which is full 60. You can get it on Game Keys at this discount there. You can wait until it's Black Friday or something. They have a sale. You know, you don't have to buy a game at launch, contrary to popular belief. You know, if you're not a content creator, then you can buy the game whenever you feel like buying the game. If you are a content creator, shut up. You're making content off of it. Who cares if you're paying for it? You're getting the game because you're trying to profit off of it by reducing stuff of it. So people are really just taking this to a place that it does need to be. $70 is the market value of games right now. That's that just is what it is. FPS has nothing to do with it.
Yes, $70 is the standard because, again, as Sadot was saying, literally some of these AAA titles can cost $100 million to produce. I mean, so you just do the math. And I think one thing that can be said about WB Games Montreal, if they were about just trying to bilk us and screw us, they would have kept the game on last-gen consoles because that would have equated to more sales. So to choose quality over quantity, I believe, says a lot about their intent. Again, could this have been announced sooner? Yes, it could. But here is what I think is going to happen. We get a patch. I mean, 60 FPS is coming. I mean, it's optimized. It's possible to do that. I've seen a lot of games add VRR to it. A lot of games have added 60 FPS. We've seen remakes happen of other games. So I think Marvel's Avenger, speaking about them, they did a next gen update as well. I remember playing the game.
If they can pull off a performance update, literally anyone can.
Come on, bruh. Hey,
I mean talk. Literally anyone.
Real talk. If Crystal Dynamics can do it, then it can definitely be done. Yeah. So all I'll say is just hold your horses. Don't doom the game. Don't just no pun intended, DoomKiller. But don't just shoot the game down. I mean, I really do feel that they know what's at stake. And if nothing else, guess what? This is
Twitter is not the real world, deep for real. I'm so sorry. Like this man said he did a poll on YouTube, did a poll on somewhere else or whatnot. You know what I mean? And the majority of the people ain't tripping off no 30 FPS. That's people who want to be seen, who want to be heard, who need interaction. Because if you go to their profile pages, they follow 3,000 people. Nobody follows them back, and they've been on Twitter since 2011. So come on, man. People do.
Like the one of the people arguing with Jay Shocklast literally created their account today.
Right, just to argue.
You literally just to argue
And then deleted it right afterwards. Like
it was a business account. You know, he created specifically for that business. You know, he had some business with Jay Shocklast.
That's the business these people are up to. They have nothing. They have no actual business. This is their career. This is their career aspirations. Argue with content creators on Twitter.
Right. That's some people's full-time job, you know, to get off by doing that. And me personally, and again, I don't know how you guys do it. I mean, I'm nowhere near where you all are as far as followers and, you know, just the different people that will come for you. I mean, I don't know how y'all handle it. Sadot, Doomkiller, Casual. I mean, you're interacting literally with thousands of people. And I just, that's got to be a lot.
The block button is your friend.
Yes. I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. I used to go through it. Like it used to really bother me. Like especially like Reddit. I don't know if you dabble on Reddit, bro. But it's just cutthroat. And I realized that again. I've said this a million times. What you eat don't make me shit at all. So like. F them people, bro. Like for real, hit that block button, hit that mute button, hit that unfollow, hit whatever you need to hit to protect your own peace, bro. Because them people literally just yesterday, my dude Kaz got hit up for no reason at all. Man just changed his profile pic. What 6 days ago, 5 days ago, not even a full week. Already inbound. Boom. Just that quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, bro, F them people, dog. Hit that. He made an example out of dude. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's better than he made a whole example out of him real quick. People, now you look stupid. Now you got to delete your account because you look stupid. You know what I mean?
I mean, to be fair, he looks stupid because you're arguing about a game on a Friday night.
For real. Instead of touching some grass, go touch. Never mind. Anyway,
he was just expressing his concern because he didn't want Casual Vendor to gangster up any more games like Doom has been doing.
Man, it's not good. It's the internet, bro. It's social media, and you know the clowns. You know they put their makeup on and perform. So I don't take it personally. And you know, to your question, Deep, I'm very selective with where and how I engage with people. So it's like I made a conscious decision to quote retweet that. And just showcase people, like for the people who try to wave this stuff off and put it under the bridge, like, oh, that's not a thing, or this isn't still happening, or racism doesn't exist. I've never had that interaction on Twitter prior to that. Prior to me changing my profile pic, I've never had that interaction. And it's like it's all good. You literally can't phase me with that. One, that's one of the corniest things you can say in any day and age. And two, if we were face to face. There is no keyboards in between us. There are no screens and monitors in between us. I know for a fact you're not going to have that energy. So it's like for me to get out of my body about that because some dude who's having a terrible life at this point, like this is how you living on Friday nights. It's like, I feel for you. Honestly, I empathize with your situation because you got to be down bad. And that it's not worth the energy and the interaction. But for that situation specifically and for the purpose I just listed, that's the only reason I chose to engage. It's very easy to laugh that off and keep scrolling because one, you can't feel that strongly about it because you're arguing under a burner account, bro. And only got involved because I didn't like what he was saying to Jay Shockblast because you made it extremely personal. Like you're telling this dude to end his life and stuff like that, and nobody cares about him because a game is coming out in 30 frames per second in 2022. It's like this where we at in life, bro.
Bro, in all my years, man.
It's like every take is terrible. Every take he offered for the night was terrible. Oh, you clearly don't care about your vegetables. It's like that's your comeback, bro. Like you're a grown man on social media, and that's your comeback. I can't take you seriously, and you gotta trust people to be themselves. You got to trust the internet to do what internet people do. And you control how you respond and how you react to it. So it's like, I'm very selective with my engagements. If like when you reached out to me about this podcast, I jumped at that because you're one of the dopest people I've seen. I fully support what you're doing. And I try to take advantage of as many positive interactions as I can, because as you can see, not all interactions on the internet are going to be positive, and more commonly than not, they can be negative. So it's like, I chill in the positive spaces. So if you're cool, you're doing something that I value and I see, you know, potential in, us, anything like that, or it's just a cool time, I'm all about it. If you want to argue about a video game, bro, we're not sitting, you know, shoulder to shoulder playing a Sega. We're not in the arcade or nothing like that. It's like, I'm a grown man. I got grown man things to do. I don't argue with people about video games on the internet. I don't need to be mad because you're mad. Me feeling how I feel about the game has nothing to do with how you feel about the game. If you don't want to buy it, you don't feel like it's justified, you think the developers are lazy, I don't need to talk to you about that. I really don't care. So it's like, that's just how I feel, and that's how I choose to interact. Like, I value people's opinions. I love that, you know, my followers share their opinions in polls and comments and stuff like that. I'll read through, I try to interact as much as I can, but if you're being negative, like just for the sake of being negative, then it's like, I got no time for that.
Sadot the Gamer quote real quick. He posted this yesterday on Twitter, and this is one of my favorite tweets. Fun fact: if you don't like something, you're not required to personally track down everyone who does and tell them about it. One of my favorite tweets, bro.
my man, Mr. Sadot the Gamer. On that note, because I'm sure that, you know, maybe a developer will watch this stream. Maybe they'll watch you know, this podcast. You know, the growth that you've had over the last year has just, I mean, I've never seen it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never seen it. I'm sure it may have happened, but I just hadn't seen it. But the growth that you've experienced just over the last year, when you started content creation, when you said, hey, I'm going to be a content creator, I mean, getting over that 20,000 subscriber mark, which is huge. How do you deal with it? How do you balance it? Because see, what we're talking about right now, maybe there's someone who is a developer and, you know, they're stressing themselves out over this whole 30 FPS gate. I mean, how do you balance that, all of that? How do you deal with it?
Oh, when someone says something super out of pocket or toxic to me or social media about my content and me, I just look at my monthly revenue and go about my business. Yeah, I feel much better.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I feel you, because that's what I was trying to tell Caboose on his post. Like, dude, you just got done hanging out with The Rock, man. I mean, it's not even worth, you know, like, don't even engage.
It's just how I am, just in general. Like, even before I got into content creation, I was in music industry. I worked in news media, and I just, in general in life, I just try to keep things in perspective and take kind of like a top-down view, because I feel like it's easy to get into the trenches and feel like what you're doing matters, you know, more than it actually does. So if I feel like I'm getting way too invested in something, I'll just take a step back and think of, okay, what can I be doing right now that's more productive than this? And if it's about arguing with someone on Twitter, the list of things that I could be doing more productive are literally endless. So that doesn't take much to me. I'm like, oh, I could be making a video, I could be planning a video, I could literally just be watching an anime. I could
chainsaw.
I can literally be doing anything other than, because when it comes to interacting with people on Twitter, I've seen developers fall victim to this. They do this a lot, and you know, sometimes it's part of the job, sometimes it's not. And to me, it's like, if I'm going to engage with someone on Twitter, I'm like, the first thing I'm checking is this an interaction worth having? Because there are some people who don't have any intention of having an honest dialogue with you. Their goal is just they're mad. They have a narrative in their head. They just want to be mad. They just want to troll. They just want to argue. They just want to make you feel worse about your day. So there's literally no point in engaging that. You're not going to change their mind. You're not going to get anything out of it. There's no prizes here. Just hit the block, hit the mute, keep it moving. You just saved yourself 6 hours. Like it's not going to help. I'm like, okay, I'm a grown man with bills. Is arguing with this person with an anime profile pic going to pay my mortgage? No. Okay, block. Like I don't care. Like this person who spends all their time on Reddit is mad because they don't like my content. Okay, 600,000 people like my content last week. So I don't care. Like you can't please everybody. You should try to please you shouldn't try to. You should make if you're making games, if you're making content, you should be making it for first and foremost your well-being, your love, your passion, and for the people who you think will appreciate it. Like the people who literally just want to tear something down, they're completely irrelevant. They're very truly sad people, and that should give you some comfort because your life is 100% going better than theirs. There's not a single multi-millionaire, billionaire living a fully fulfilled life who's on Twitter right now arguing with Jay Shockblast because Gotham Knights is not in 60 FPS on PlayStation. It doesn't exist.
Misery loves company, man. Misery loves company, bro.
Indeed it does, Doom. Indeed it does. Listen, I know that these are some busy individuals and gentlemen that are on this call, so we want to get ready to wrap up the stream for episode 5 on Gotham Knights. Closing thoughts, Casual Avengers on Gotham Knights. We're 6 days away. Are you ready to jump in, bro?
As I posted on Twitter, this time next week, we will all be playing Gotham Knights, enjoying the game, enjoying what they put together and brought to the gaming industry for this year. And, if you're not a part of that group, that's fair. That's fine. You don't have to target people. You don't have to, tell people to end their lives and stuff like that. And Deep, I, greatly appreciate you, putting this podcast together. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate the interactions. I appreciate everybody who came out and hung out tonight. This was one of the dopest podcasts I've been a part of, and I appreciate the invite.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you for coming through. Mr. DoomKillaHD, we're 6 days away from Gotham Knights, man. What are your final thoughts?
Well, it might be 6 days for y'all, but it's only 5.5 for me. So I'm hyped, dog. Big shout out to Christopher Sean, voice actor for Nightwing. That's who I'm rocking with first and foremost. The man been showing mad love, so I gotta show it back. That's who I'm rocking with. Definitely Nightwing. Can't wait to run it with the crew once that on the 29th. You know what I'm saying? When we get to run them dungeons, when we get to run that heroic assault, I'm trying to grab the dang on squad and we gonna go through, have some fun, people. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to running that on stream, looking forward to just having fun with it, bro. 30 FPS. I ain't mad. I ain't tripping. You heard me? Let's go, baby. For real. Nah, again, though, thank you for the invite, bro. I'm really happy I was able to come aboard, especially with these two knuckleheads right here. You know what I mean? So, yes, indeed, man. Appreciate you, bro. Laissez les bon temps rouler. You know that mean? Let them good times roll, baby.
Let them roll. Yes, sir. Before we get the final thoughts from Mr. Sadot, I want to say shout out to Lejeune in the building. I actually had talked with him, and he was going to try to get on the podcast, but some things came up. But I want to appreciate your presence and your support even throughout my short career as a content creator, man. You've been very helpful. Again, another one of my mentors and another one of those individuals that's on YouTube killing it, over 20K subscribers. Can't wait to see what kind of bills all of y'all are going to come up with as it relates to Gotham Knights. I know it's going to be sick with the damage. Mr. Sadot, can you give us your final thoughts on Gotham Knights? We're 5.5 days away.
5.5 days away. The game is going to be great, or it's going to be Cyberpunk 2077 or Marvel's Avengers 2.0. someone's going to have to take regardless.
Somebody said Gotham 2077.
DC's Gotham Knights 2077. We'll see. Regardless, I'm going to be playing it on Friday, ideally sooner. But if I'm not blessed with a key, I'm still playing, and I'll be titling all of my videos from now on 30 FPS. about to change my profile name to Sadot the 30 FPS. just to trigger the haters. Like people take this stuff way too seriously, man. It's a superhero game. Play it or don't.
Yes, sir. Well, there you have it, my people. Once again, Sadot the Gamer, DoomKillaHD, Casual Avenger. Make sure that you hit up all of their socials and follow them, whether that's on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. I promise you will not regret it. Appreciate your times, fellas. And this has been another edition of The Deeper Level. I'm your host, Deeper Depths, signing out for now. We'll see you on the next live stream. Peace.
Peace out, people.